Hey y'all, what's going on? Navy Vet 88 coming at y'all with a video about painting your rifles, painting your accessories, painting your magazines, anything really that you want to put paint on. This is just pretty much an example and a tutorial on how to do it the proper way, your steps from the beginning to the end. So stick around, watch it. We're going to use this magazine as an example to kind of show you guys how you should do it for the prep work and everything. It's just a regular standard PMAG, by the way. As you can see here, we're just going to draw a line out to kind of, get an idea of where we're going to start the paint and where we're going to stop the paint. You don't want to get a lot of paint in your upper region area, especially close to your follower. The higher up you go with the paint, the harder it can become to get your rifle magazine seated or coming out. Honestly, you hit your mag release and it might not even drop out just because of so much material that's around the upper area. So as you can see, first off, we're gonna just use some simple, alcohol and a cotton ball. That's pretty much just to get all of the extra residue and debris, grease, lead, especially if you have these magazines that you're shooting regularly at the range. You'll build up a lot of grease and residue and everything. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do starting off. We're just gonna use a little cotton ball and we're going to wipe it clean, and that'll be pretty much the start of us even getting all of this going. Honestly, prep work is the most important part. Finished product is the finished product, but we really want to do good prep work when it comes to doing anything that involves painting, anything that's going to go on our firearms and things of that nature. So as you can see right here, just speed it up and just kind of show you what we did. We have our line marked out, as you can see, so we're pretty much just going to focus on putting our alcohol around the bottom area of that line. That line is pretty much where the mag well stops at, so we know that we won't have any paint on the top of the magazine that will be going into the mag well. So we'll just pretty much, use this to wipe off any excess grease, any excess residue, lead, or anything like that, because this is one of my range magazines. So yeah, we're just gonna rub it, get all the tight spots in between here and there, because we want to make sure that it's clean when we start, and we want to make sure that when the paint goes on, there's no debris or anything that's kind of like sticking out or standing out to make it look, give it a real nasty look. And right here, as you can see, the bottom of the follower, we could take the spring out, but we're not really too worried about that. We won't have any issues with that. So yeah, as you can see, we're just pretty much wiping it off, nothing special. Next up, it's time for us to get our tape out. As you can see, we have some regular painter's tape, blue painter's tape, same tape that I use around the house or in my room painting or anything like that. So we'll just go ahead and wrap it. We want to make sure that we're not getting any paint up there in the followers, because that'll be an issue when it comes to feeding. As you can see now, we got it all painted out. All taped up, and we're getting ready to paint it out. As you can see with my tape, I followed the line all the way across, although it was kind of a line that was already there. And at the top on the back of the magazine where it locks in, I tried to make sure I get as tight in those spots as possible so that when I'm spraying, none of the paint kind of gets up in there because it's an open area. So we try to push it down in there a little bit, and yeah, easy peasy. Next up, we're gonna go over here and we're gonna scuff up our surface. And as you can see here, we got some 220 grit sandpaper that we got from Walmart. We're just gonna pretty much just use a little abrasion on it, speed it up, go through it. As you can see, we hit all of the sides of it, every corner. We try to get all of the crevices inside of or outside of the magazine where it makes its cuts and angles and things of that nature, because we want to make sure that our paint is sticking really, really good. And when we put it on the first time, it stays on the first time. So yeah, now after that, we'll just go back with some more alcohol and a paper towel. I'm sorry, we had a piece of tissue paper. I left my cotton balls upstairs and I didn't feel like going back to get more. So I just grabbed some tissue paper out of the guest bathroom downstairs. But it left a little extra as far as tissue paper residue, but it's nothing. We'll take this paper towel, we'll just wipe it off clean. And as you can see, it's kind of ashy color, and that's because we've taken out a lot of the impurities and extra oils and things of that nature. As you can see right here, we're using the Rust-Oleum, I'm sorry, but the flat forest green and the tan. Those are two of my favorite colors to kind of use when I'm messing around with the paint. And again, this is me just messing around. It's not anything that I'm taking in a serious context or feeling like it has to be done. But I like to work my skills. So as you can see right here, we're just gonna go with our first coat. We're not going too heavy, fairly light. I mean, I'm fairly close too, so at the same time, the paint is covering it really, really well. So it probably looks like I'm spraying a lot, but I'm really not. It's just a nice wide mist on it, and it's covering up a lot of the area. And like I said, you know, you want to do both sides of it, of course, because you're doing your magazine on both sides, or whatever, you know, product or material that you're working on, whatever accessory that you're working on. You know, you want to make sure, of course, you're doing the same thing on both sides. Now that we have it all sprayed up with a good first coat, we have some foliage over here, which is pretty much some stuff out of my yard close to the house where I'm sorry, the lawnmower can't touch. There you go. So yeah, we got some of that. We're going around with a second coat. We're gonna make sure that we good all the way around. Now that we have our foliage on top, or our grass or weeds or whatever, just gonna lay it on top. You know, just kind of hit it with some of the forest green, spread over, get some of those tight spots that we can kind of see that are open in between it. And I'll try to push it down just a little bit harder once I flip it over, because sometimes when you have it so far away when you're spraying, it can become a wide looking mess. So sometimes you'll have to kind of like push what it is that you're using to camouflage it down a little bit so that you can get it to get those right angles and everything that you need. So there you go with that. Let's move forward. As you can see right here, we're not done yet. Of course, it's not just that simple. You have one more process that you want to do to make sure that you're keeping your accessory or whatever it is that you're painting protected, so that it doesn't give you that gritty feeling or rubbing off feeling or anything like that. So with that, we go with the Rust-Oleum matte clear coat. And it's just like a car. You paint a car, you sanding it, you know, you do your prep work, you paint it, and you have to put a clear coat on it. And a clear coat protects it from a lot of different environmental situations that it might come encounter with. And for this magazine, that would typically be your hands, whether you're wearing gloves or not. Eventually, it may come off, but when you're doing it right like this, you won't have to worry about a whole lot of problems. As you can see, that clear coat kind of brings a little gloss to it, and that really does help with the protectant portion of it. So it's a really good idea to use the clear coat once you're finished done doing your paint job, you know. And like I said, we have it taped off to keep any type of paint off the top of the magazine. And as you can see right here, here's pretty much the final product, finished product. It looks really good. I just used AR-15 as an example, so I put it in the mag well. As you can see, man, it turned out really good. It's nice for the environment if you're more that wooded or urban kind of, not urban, I'm sorry, rural kind of area. It really works out. It may not match so much with my rifle for my environment, but I really don't care about that kind of stuff. I'm not one of those people. I just enjoy, you know, spraying and painting and, you know, coming up with different type of creations. So I appreciate y'all sticking in and watching this, man. I hope this helped somebody out. I hope that you can use this information to, you know, go ahead and pull the trigger and do some stuff that you really want to do. Create that art that you really want to create. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's Navy Vet 88. I'll holler at y'all.